Shazam earns $25 million to stay number one, John. Hellboy goes up in flames with $12 million.
Yes, it's very, very interesting, Stephen, isn't it? To see the rise of one particular film's fortunes and the absolute catastrophic failure of another one. That's two very distinctive comic book superhero releases. And obviously, as you did say, it earns another $25 million to stay top. Shazam, a film I really did enjoy. Unfortunately, Hellboy is only opened with $12 million.
And that is the headline on this week's MBE
Heroes. Yes, Stephen, yes. A little bit late with that one, but it doesn't matter. We get the gist of it. We know it's MBE Heroes. The logo's up there somewhere. So it's all good if you're watching it. But yeah, as I did say, Stephen, it's very intriguing to see the different successes or the different fates of these two different films. I'm actually quite upset to see Hellboy is getting absolutely pummeled by the critics. And as you think you says the original director, was it Guillermo del Toro who did the original Hellboy?
He was making some rumblings on
he was making
Twitter.
snarky comments, and it's really
sad.
It's followed through into the actual box office performance of the film. It's flopped in its opening in the United States. Isn't yet out, or we don't know the figures for the United Kingdom yet.
No.
Well, I don't personally. It may be out there somewhere, but I haven't seen them. So we don't know how it's opening here. But I'm just I'm quite upset that Hellboy looks to flop, because from the trailers I really enjoyed the mixture of dark sort of asides and the more serious later trailers with the comedy.
I thought the humour was excellent.
Yeah, and the use of music and stuff. The actual guy that was portraying, I think it's Harbour or something his name is, may not be, maybe talking crap there, I think it's David Harbour. He looked very intriguing as Hellboy. He looked made for it, quite physically imposing. He had the longer hair, which I think represented him being a younger version of the character. I think in the comics he's got longer hair. Cuts it off, I think, as he goes on.
I think
so it's sad to see that it's not really.
I think Ron Perlman has said a few things as well. There's only I don't
understand this.
I'm sort of paraphrasing here, but there's only one Hellboy and stuff like that, and I think that's quite a shame, because this is a different take on the character, and it's a different period as well. It's been a long time since the last Del Toro version of Hellboy as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed both those films, John. But I was looking forward to seeing this one. I still will go and see it when it comes out, just because I did like the trailer. We did a reaction for it a few months ago as well. I liked the humour in it. The music was great as well. I liked the music, although we got a copyright claim because of the music, but we'll not get into that. But listen, I wasn't expecting this film to blow audiences away or anything like that. But this is a classic case of Hollywood blockbuster films being a victim of their own success. Yeah, Stephen, the film's only got a $50 million production budget, so it's not got a big, huge budget by any means. The likes of Shazam has a $100 million budget. It's a mid-sized comic book film. This is only $50 million. I think this falls into perhaps low to mid-budget range. So it's $12 million. They were predicting it would open to anywhere between $16 million to $20 million in its opening weekend, so they're not far off. It's not quite hit the mark, but it's not far off. It's only $4 million away. As we like to say, it's not a boot in the balls off of what they were predicting for this film. So I don't think it's an absolute catastrophic failure by any means. I think it may just about scrape a profit, perhaps maybe hit $100 million, maybe not. That may be a little bit optimistic. I think we'll see how it hits in different territories. This is only in the United States. But just a couple of reasons why the film appears to have flopped, Stephen. I've not actually went into the reviews because I've not seen the film yet myself. I was hoping to go and watch it. I'm slightly getting put off with these negative reviews now, but that really shouldn't allow other people's opinions to sway me. It's all subjective art, and film in particular. But they're saying that the film, in this particular article by CBR, they're saying that the film chose to focus on the wrong villain. They had a whole litany of different villains from the Hellboy comics which they could have chosen to focus on. They're saying from the likes of Knights with Electric Spears, Man-Eating Giants, Vampire Luchadors, I don't know how you say that, all the way through to the Denizens of Hell itself. They're saying that they instead chose to go to the Blood Queen Nimue, played by Mila Jovovich. So apparently that's another reason why this film's not perhaps hitting over well with perhaps the people who are fans of the comics. I don't know who the demographics are that went to see this film. I think a lot of filmmakers make this mistake, John, in regards to introducing or reintroducing, in this case, you know, a very famous comic book character, where the focus when you're introducing this to a sort of casual film goer, you don't really want to make the villain of the movie sort of overpowering the whole story arc or the hero themselves. But they fall victim to that by making the villain of the movie very underwhelming. We saw it with the Suicide Squad, very underwhelming.
It was,
antagonist. In this case, it seems to be the same sort of thing they've done with this film as well, sadly.
Yeah, no, but I'm just reading the premise about hell cracking open into the streets of London itself. It all sounds very intriguing to me, Stephen, but look, I don't know where it's went wrong, sadly. I've not seen the film, so I can't speak of it from an artistic perspective, but it's sad to see that the film isn't quite hitting off in terms of critical response and box office opening, but that's just life, Stephen. I suppose when I go to see the film itself, I'll be able to give my own thoughts on it thereafter, but look, I wasn't a massive fan of the original Ron Perlman Hellboy films, so for him to be coming out and saying there's only one Hellboy, very childish. If we were to take that viewpoint with the classic Marvel films, good lord, we wouldn't have the MCU, we'd have that horrendous John C. Reilly lookalike guy swinging around with the 50 different cuts and action scenes of Captain America. That obviously Chris Stuckman totally absolute shreds. I think it's from the 90s. But what I digress, I've not got much more to add. It's all very sad. But on another note, Stephen, it's good to see Shazam's doing well. Yeah,
and we'll stay on that subject, John, of Shazam. This is another article come in from Empire Online. This is in regards to that little cameo we saw at the end. We did talk about it briefly last week. And the cameo was altered due to scheduling conflicts. This is, of course, the Man of Steel's
Henry Cavill. It's not Henry Cavill.
I thought it was... I understand, you know, and we knew the story anyway in regards to Henry Cavill's scheduling conflicts to make that cameo. Whether or not that was the real reason, I don't know. But listen, what I got from the cameo was, John, I thought the DC EU, or whatever they want to call ourselves these days, were kind of poking fun at themselves in regards to this kind of fallout, the change in sort of direction they were going with their films as well. I also thought it might have been a little bit of a snide little sort of comeback to Henry Cavill's, you know, obviously not being part of this.
Yeah, he's in The Witcher, isn't he?
So, what did you make of the cameo, John? I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't really cheating the audience in any fashion or anything like that.
Not at all.
When he did come in the room, I did think, oh, wait a minute, you know, are we going to get him here? You know, has this been kept under wraps?
Pan up.
But sadly didn't.
No, we didn't. We just got the chest, Stephen, but it's clearly the same suit. It's indistinguishable from Henry Cavill's suit, so they're not trying to give us a new Superman here and then he can retcon it in future and maybe put a different head on it. Very clearly the same suit. I'm looking at the photo of Henry Cavill himself
cut his head off.
Is that the Man of Steel or is that from Dawn of Justice?
I think that's Man of Steel.
I think that's Man of Steel, yeah. I think it's perhaps near the end, before the big climatic battle. So it's very clearly his suit. But I wasn't bothered, Stephen, at all about Henry Cavill not coming in. I'm just glad to see there's still a potential for Henry Cavill to come back as Superman, because I just think he's a fantastic Superman. I've said it time and again. Me even have said it last week on last week's NBA Heroes, that he's still my favourite Superman out with the Christopher Reeves one. I like Christopher Reeves, but that Superman 4 line about subway systems still being the most reliable form of transport.
That was actually a regurgitated line from the first movie where they were talking about
technically that
airline travel. They just changed the words.
Technically, it wasn't Superman either, Stephen. It was it wasn't him. It was his alter ego. I forget the name. It's shocking. My mind's went blank. Doesn't matter. I digress. I really enjoyed the cameo. Incidentally, I thought it was a cool little cameo. That whole film gave me vibes of Spider-Man: Homecoming, and obviously Ant-Man. Just this young guy being thrust into this world of adult world, this alien world of superhero powers, having to find his feet, learn how to deal with the responsibilities of being a superhero, of growing up, and also that mishmashing with his school life and being bullied and things like that. Gave me whole sort of a vibes of Homecoming, so I really enjoyed the ending. Obviously saved his little friend, his stepbrother, from being made to look like a complete idiot in front of the whole school in the canteen because he steps into shot. And then we get Superman. I've brought a friend as well, so it was cool. Neat little nod to the wider DCEU. It keeps the door opened, and I've not got much more to add to it, Stephen. I thought it was very cool.
I did, John, and I think...
What thing I will say though is, why the hell is Henry Cavill prioritising the Witcher series on Netflix ahead of playing Superman?
It's just...
been a little bit hypocritical there, Henry.
Got to pay the bills, John, but...
Got to pay the bills,
listen, I liked the film. I thought it was great. It was I think the sort of departure of Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck at this point is quite a convenient timing of these things when you look.
I think it's deliberate.
When you look at the tone of Shazam, it'd be too jarring. They'd have to sort of meet half road somewhere with the tone of the previous films and this new film. And I don't know how that would have worked, to be honest with you. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy for the MCU, which kind of bridged the gap. Thor Ragnarok kind of cemented that sort of tone as well when we were leading up to Infinity War. The DCEU's was more jarring, I felt, you know, up to the Suicide Squad, which was trying to be a little bit more light-hearted and wacky and weird and stuff like that, but it just didn't work. Shazam, on the other hand, is totally the other side of the coin if you compare it to the likes of the tone that is to the likes of you know, Dawn of Justice or film like that. It's such a different take, a different look. Everything about it is just totally different, but it's supposed to be the same sort of universe. That's how I think it's more convenient that they've sort of not cut ties, but they're certainly changing the sort of game that they're playing now.
Well, I think they've definitely cut ties with the main players just now, Stephen. I think it's very deliberate that they've chosen to kind of ostracise Batman. Perhaps this Batman film will be coming out, the Matt Reeves one, in a couple of years, so I don't want to say fully ostracising, but I think it was a deliberate decision not to have Henry Cavill back again, fairly recent, as Superman after Man of Steel. It's been a number of years since Man of Steel, I do believe. So I think that was deliberate. They're putting these main players from the DC side of things to the side just now. They're focusing in on minor characters like Shazam. I don't want to say Wonder Woman's a minor character, but Aquaman, I think, in the grand scheme of things, is a minor character.
So,
focusing on these minor characters, maybe giving them a new lick of paint, bring them into the 21st century, certainly in Aquaman's case, utilising the lighter tone to bring things up a little bit, lighten things up, and maybe bring in some of that MCU brigade, the fans that love those films. Try and bring them in, maybe get them on the DC bandwagon, have some intermingling going on. Some strange bedfellows going to see the films. See maybe a Superman t-shirt and an Iron Man t-shirt, who knows? I'd do that anyway, I don't care. So I think that was deliberate, Stephen. They've chosen to focus on the minor characters, do perhaps what the Marvel side have been doing, utilise the minor characters, bring them up, give them greater emphasis and parts to play, and then maybe they'll bring in the bigger characters like Batman, Lex Luthor again, Superman. Hopefully it'll still be Henry Cavill with a new Batman, maybe John Hamm, is it his name is? That's who I want. And then we'll see another better, fully formed version of that, the hell's you got? They call Stephen the Justice League.
Justice League,
I was about to say the Dark Justice, Jesus Christ. A proper version of the Justice League. It's not been rushed to try and hang on to the coattails of the MCU. But look, man, I actually agree. Before I pass it back over to you to go on to the next topic, what you said, Stephen, about it being jarring as well. I think it would have been jarring. The difference in tone, this more comedy sort of a character, mixing with the darker sort of what we've seen with Superman, Man of Steel to this date. And I think we will see the character of Shazam grown into a more serious character as these films hopefully progress. Because by all accounts, very powerful character, second only to perhaps Superman and what he's capable of doing. So I think we will see him develop, mature, and the tone will change ever so slightly as that goes on. But I don't know, I may be talking crap.
Well, fingers crossed, John, because that does sound like a plan.
It does.
But we'll move on to the next article. It comes in from Screen Rant. This is Josh Whedon's Avengers films never understood Captain America. It's a very lengthy article. It's a two-pager, John.
Very lengthy.
We read it. Interesting. It's a very interesting article. Some of the points I didn't really agree with. And the general gist of it is that the sort of characteristics of Captain America and his independent films, the First Avenger, the Winter Soldier and Civil War were clearly different to what we saw in the Avengers film. But I said to you, John, I get that. The character has more time to develop and basically more screen time as well for us to enjoy in his own films, his standalone films. In the Avengers films, you're cramming all these characters into a 3-hour film. That seems to be the general sort of running time for Avengers films these days, but you're not going to get a lot of time. I did pick up on some things that I did agree with, to be fair. A lot of lines, sort of, the way that he spoke to women and stuff like that. He had those old-fashioned sort of gentleman characteristics about him from the 1940s, which we got, but I think the character itself, he's had to adjust his whole way of his chain of thought into the modern times. At times, especially in the first Avengers film, you kind of got that. He's trying to readjust himself, understand the sort of way the world works and the way the world thinks these days. It wasn't really bogged down in that sort of development of the character, and I got that because we were really getting right into the action. That's what Avengers films are all about. They're all about the battle sequences. They're all about these good guys all teaming up against the bad guys.
You get little periods of sporadic small talk, kind of a lighten the tone or maybe darken the tone at times, who knows. So I don't really agree with the general gist of what the article's getting at, Stephen. As you did say, these standalone films are clearly going to have a different tone, a different feel to the character. It's going to be more complex. It's going to focus on the inner workings of the individual characters. We've seen that with Iron Man, we've seen that with Thor, we've seen it now also with Captain America. I say that, I've got the order and way out of sync there. Iron Man first, then it was Captain America, then Thor. But look, I'm always going to get a more complex...
Bypassing Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed that film. I'm talking crap, I really did enjoy that. But look, and we've even got the story of the Hulk kind of developing through the last 3 MCU films, but you're always going to get a different take on the character in the independent sort of standalone films, because it's dedicated to that character, his inner workings, his own personal journey and growth. So you can't compare that to the big ensemble heroic releases like Avengers Assemble, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, because they are bigger, grander settings with almost cosmic-like sort of entities you're dealing with. In the first film, even Loki's a cosmic entity, he's almost a god. And you get on to Thanos and these, what was he called? Jarvis? It wasn't Jarvis. Ultron. Jesus Christ, it's called Age of Ultron. Come on, what's wrong with me tonight? I digress though. You're always going to get differences in the character development and growth and the tone, because you're fighting bigger, more complex characters. It's a greater story with a whole host of different phases.
That's what the individual ones. That's what the Avengers films are all about, John. That's their purpose, And
Captain America was essentially the first film aside. It was all about Steve Rogers growing with Bucky, how he developed the relationship, trying to find his old friend Bucky. Even in the first one, it was Bucky, him going off to fight and try and prove himself and be like his friend Bucky. And then try to reunite with him, and then in the final film, Civil War, he's taking his side, fighting his own once friends to save his friend and be with him. So it's going to be a different story. It's going to focus on that friendship, the innards of Steve Rogers himself, whilst the other Avengers films are focused very much on the bigger, grander settings and the bigger, bombastic action sequences. But look, I digress, Stephen. I don't agree with the vast majority. There is a couple of things in there. Obviously, dialogue doesn't quite jive with what we've seen in the standalone films, as you did see him saying "ma'am" and things like that, and just if you get killed, walk it off. And they do the character a slight injustice at times by making them almost comedic levity. But every single character in the Avengers has been comedic levity at some point. They've been a bit of a joke at some point.
I think when you're putting them in amongst these characters that they all have that comedic level, John. He would look out of place if he didn't sort of, do that as well. It'd look like a bit of a square, basically.
To be fair,
like, what's this guy's problem?
What they do say in the article as well, Stephen, I do slightly agree with the man out of time aspect in the Avengers films. You don't see that at all, really. Apart from the first film, after the first standalone, the first Avenger. After that, they just cast that aside and focus firmly on Steve Rogers and what he's doing, his inner workings, as I did say, his personal journey, this relationship, on-off relationship with Bucky. But in the Avengers films, that really did kind of continue on. Maybe a little bit too long, this man out of time, wearing clothes that shouldn't have been wearing, clearly from the 1930s and 40s. So that's maybe another thing I do agree with. But in the main, I don't agree.
And just to sort of round this article off, John, the Captain America trilogy is still my favourite trilogy out of them all, out of Iron Man and Thor. But it's interesting. I like the character. It was one of the characters when this whole thing was getting put together. I wasn't really interested in Captain America. Once I saw the first film from, I think, Joe Johnston, directed it. It was just got me hooked. I wanted to see more, especially I would have loved to have saw more from that period as well, from the wartime. But the ending to that film was fantastic as well, where he wakes up in modern day, the way that Samuel Jackson's character tried to Nick Fury tried to con him, into thinking he was still back.
The baseball game on, World Series or something.
Yeah, and they looked out and saw Times Square.
Yeah.
It was a great ending to the film, John. But listen, we'll move on to our final article of the show. It's coming in from Cinema Blend.
Yes.
And it's the headline is The Russo brothers worked with Captain Marvel team to create Brie Larson's character. And I don't want to read word for word, John, of the article. Do that yourselves on cinemablend.com. But basically, it's something I never thought of, actually, that Brie Larson portrayed the character in Endgame before she did it in the standalone film, which I totally forgot about, because I knew that they were filming these Avengers films back to back last year. So of course she would have done that. It just didn't cross my mind.
Didn't cross my mind either, Stephen. I have to say, I completely forgot that they shot them synchronously, back to back. So it wasn't something that really came into my mind when I was watching Captain Marvel, that perhaps she'd played this character out of sync. She'd obviously played the later version of herself in Endgame. Yeah. Put the character together in that film, and then obviously worked back, sort of a reverse engineered the character where she was 20 years previously. So it's very intriguing. It's an interesting concept, and seeing how they can maybe mesh this together. We'll see how well they've done when we see Endgame itself. See the differences in the character. Have they managed to nail it, the growth? Is she a completely different person in Endgame? I would hope she is. Certainly in terms of looks, she's completely different, because they say she was very noticeably glammed up in Endgame, and a lot of people were saying, is this because the Russo brothers have got their hands into the character, they're trying to make her something different? But Brie Larson says no, it's not. She actually made that decision to make the character more glammed up. So look, I find it very interesting. I just love hearing about the inner workings of the MCU, Kevin Feige, the Russos, how they put these films together. Sometimes reverse engineering characters. It's amazing to see how all of this all comes together, all the creative juices, all of these big projects. We've heard the likes of Kevin Smith refer to these productions as almost countries, and the size and the scale of how they put it all together. So to have them reverse engineer this is absolutely incredible. I
think as well, John, that this is going to shut a lot of people up in regards to Brie Larson's portrayal of the character as well, because if she shines in this film, that this article will have to be in the minds of people that she actually portrayed the character in this film before we saw Captain Marvel. So I think, as far as the character goes and the actress goes, I think if she succeeds in being a standout, I'm hearing rumours that she's not part of the sort of final sort of takedown of Thanos. I hope that's not true. Surprising. I would like to see her as part of the team. Don't want to see her doing it all herself. No. But as part of the team, I think it's very important that she's in there. Yeah,
what about that superhero life, as War Machine says in that little snippet? Yeah. But we were touching about that snippet as well, Stephen, touching on that. Obviously, she came across a little bit awkward.
But that might be the reason.
But that may be the reason. She was still trying to come to terms. She was still trying to come to terms with this character. What makes this character tick? Try to get inside the soul of it, and then she's reverse engineered it. So I'm not going to be too harsh on Brie. She's an Oscar-winning actress. But as I did say, Stephen, before the show came on, Nick Cage is an Oscar-winning actor as well, and he's not knocking it out the park in every single film he's in. Far from it. But look, it's going to be intriguing to see how this character's grown, known now with information that we've got here that it's been done back to front, out of sync. So it's going to be intriguing. I cannot wait to see the film. Obviously, this is my most anticipated film, Endgame. And I really enjoyed Captain Marvel for what it was. It was an okay independent film. I enjoyed it. So I've not got much more to add on that note, and I'm going to round up the show, because I do round up a show. I keep forgetting it, Stephen. That is going to be all for this week's episode of MBE Heroes. If you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. Comment below, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future, and we'll be back tomorrow with movie burner news.